Hi there, Coastal Bend. This is meteorologist Carly Smith, and your weather impact for the upcoming week is that we are looking at 100-degree temperatures possible early next week. So far, we have only had 3 triple-digit days, but there is a chance that we could do it. It's going to be a close call, though, so we're not going full in. It's confidence is still a little iffy at this point, but just to keep you up to date, here's a look at our hot sauce weather kind of climate to break it down. Spicy conditions possible. That's the triple digits. So we know it's spicy when we hit 100 because typically we only average 4 in a year. That's your air temperature at 100 degrees. But the most that we've ever had, obviously, came last year with 42 triple-digit days here in Corpus Christi. So that's Corpus Christi. Now, Kingsville, Alice, areas in the brush country, you have seen triple-degree days throughout this week. But Corpus Christi has not officially hit the 100-degree mark. So that's something to keep in mind. Fiery weather, the hottest temperature ever recorded September 5th, 2000, that was 109. Now in September we can hit the triple digits, and that has to do with drier air that moves in when we get northerly flow aloft, which we will have next week. So we may not have heat index values topping out above 115, but we are looking at a chance of hitting that triple-digit degree temperature around 100 plus. 95 is where we've been riding much of this week, and that is our average August high temperature. Now keep in mind though that we peak our average high temperature at 96 degrees, and we're going to get into that in more detail in just a few minutes. But here is your 3 News weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Carly Smith. Thank you so much for joining and watching this live update. There's not a lot going on in the weather. In fact, it's just more of the same. We are going to continue to see. We were talking about the climate earlier. Now, here's the forecast. So this high pressure, this dome, this heat dome essentially, is sinking air. Sinking air limits rain unless you're on the edge of it. You get the monsoonal pattern where it's bringing up moisture out of the south around the western side of that high into the mountains. They have orographic lift also going on that helps produce some rainfall. Meanwhile, we are just in a hot and fairly dry weather pattern with northerly flow aloft heading into next week, which will likely limit our rain. There is a cold front that's going to try to weaken that high pressure, but it doesn't look like that will happen until we get later into the week. So Tuesday around the edge of that high, so even around the eastern edge of the high, we are able to see some rain that develops, but that's likely closer to Louisiana. The Arklatex region gets in on some of that cold front precipitation and little pieces of energy coming in around the edge of the high Monday into Tuesday and Wednesday. But then Thursday into Friday, this front kind of stalls. The high pressure weakens a little bit and shifts a little bit further west, and that may allow us to see a little bit more rain heading into the end of next week. But confidence is low at this point. We're not all in on that rain forecast, so we're going to focus on the next 5 days, and there is very little to no rain anticipated for South Texas and much of West Texas, the brush country. Even just spotty showers is really all we're going to see into East Texas also. So not a great rain forecast for us by any means, and again, it all has to do with that high pressure. Well, I do want to use this vorticity to kind of show the pieces of energy. So really, even into the weekend, we still could see some sea breeze. We still have some energy riding in on the south side of that high, and we still have more of an east to westerly flow, so easterly winds even in the upper levels of the atmosphere. But we start to lose some of those easterly winds. It's a little bit more northeast by the time we get into Tuesday. So that's why I think Tuesday and Wednesday is when we have the best opportunity to reach that triple-degree mark, and we could potentially hit 100 in Corpus Christi for the 4th or 5th time next week. But it's a close call. Right now, I'm still only going 99 for that high temperature, but regardless, the difference between 99 or 100, very minimal, right? But as our air temperature gets hotter, as our heat index values are wavering between 110 and 115, you've just got to remember that it's important to practice the heat safety. We talk about it at the beginning of summer. We talk about it all summer long. You can't let your guard down. You can't say, oh, we're used to this, and quit, don't drink enough water that day, or decide not to take a break when you need one. So just stay safe, y'all. I know we all know how to do that, but we are going to continue to see above normal temperatures, which our average high now is 95. We are actually on our downhill trend for our average high temperatures when it comes to our climate normals. We start falling here shortly, but right now, so August 5th through the 15th is when our climate peak of average temperature is 96 degrees for our high. Our climate low is 67 degrees for a high in January, and so we will be falling to that number for an average, but the average doesn't mean that's what actually happens in real life. And so unfortunately, we are looking at a pretty hot week ahead of us next week. Now, for everyone that's hoping for a cold front, I know I've gotten a lot of these messages or comments on posts. The average time the temperature falls below 80 degrees is October 2nd. So October really is our actual cold front month in terms of cold fronts that actually feel a little cooler. So we get an average high below 75 degrees around August 20th and 70 degrees around November 3rd. These are all just averages though, not exacts, but typically this is when you can kind of expect temperatures in that ballpark. Right now though, lots of sunshine. We have some wispy cirrus clouds, 90 degrees already at 10 a.m. this morning. Feels like it's 103 and we're only going to get hotter. So 2 and 4 p.m. kind of tend to be the hottest time of day in Corpus Christi. That's when I anticipate a heat index around 111. So peak temperature 97, Alice, Kingsville, Benavides, Freer, George West, likely hitting 100. Corpus Christi, if we do hit 100, I think it will be Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. And then our heat index forecast 111. So we are feeling like we're above 110 degrees, which is why we have a heat advisory in place again today from 1 to 7 p.m. That's for Refugio, Aransas, San Patricio, Nueces, and Clayburgh counties. Kingsville typically still coming in as the hottest place on the map, around 115 for a heat index again today, this afternoon. So if you want to head to the beach to cool down, watch out. The water temperature is still around 90 degrees, but that sea breeze in the afternoon actually does feel quite nice on the beach. Air temperature around 92 degrees, and we are going to see heat index values around 105, possibly 106, 107 at the beach, so it's still going to feel hot. But like I said, the sea breeze coming off the water, even though it's 90 degrees, actually does feel pretty nice into the later part of the afternoon and evening hours. East-southeast winds, that breeze not too strong, but about 17 miles per hour, 20 mile per hour gusts. Waves on the calm side are only around 1 foot. Tide is something to keep in mind. So high tide is going to be in the morning, low tide in the evening, and we're not anticipating. There is going to be a full moon. That is on Monday. This full moon is a super blue moon, technically. What that means is the orbit around the Earth, the moon is going to be approaching at within 90% of its closest path to the Earth. So it's going to appear like it may be a little bigger and a little brighter, especially right when it's at the horizon. And then additionally, there are 2 definitions for a blue moon. So one that I'm more familiar with are 2 full moons in 1 month. This one is a 3rd out of 4 full moons in 1 season. So within the summer season, we're in the 3rd full moon. There's going to be 1 more before we officially transition to fall. So that is pretty much all I have for this update. Let's see. Hey, Rick, how's it going? Definitely heating up out here. Thank you for your comment. You're so welcome. And I hope everyone stays safe in this heat. Rocky says, I hate the heat. We're so close. We got to get through August. We got to get through September. And then we start to have cooler weather in October. Lopez Lala says, good morning. And loving the weather. I like the heat. Sometimes it is a little extra hot, but yeah, I'm thankful for sunshine. We could use some rain. I talked about the drought monitor. Still drought free here in South Texas, but that could change if we stay rain free in August, which it looks like we're going to have at least one more period of 7 days without rain. There is a chance we get some rain Friday into Saturday, which would be good. We need some rain this August before we just are hot and dry and gross. So that's going to do it for this live update. I want to once again thank you all for watching. For 3 News, Weather Impact, and First Edition also, I'm meteorologist Carly Smith, and I hope you have